Well, hello, dear. Don't mind me, I've just been watching Mrs. Doubtfire clips on TikTok, and now I'm mildly obsessed. I need to watch it again, so don't mind me. Starting this workout Wednesday a little bit early today, mostly because I'm set up and I don't feel like just standing around here for 4 minutes unnecessarily. Hang on, I just realized my camera angle here needs a little bit of a fix. For my Instagram followers. Sorry, Facebook followers, for the interruption. There we are. So I'll give you a couple minutes to pop on and get ready for our workout Wednesday. Grab your mat. You might need some blocks if you feel that you have some balance issues, where we're going to be exploring some balance postures today. Having a chair nearby that you can sort of hang on to if you find that you have some balance issues would be great. But even if you're not a super balanced person, just remember that it's important to still work on these things so that you can improve your balance. And that's what yoga is all about, right? You don't have to be flexible. You don't have to be bendy. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to show up and give it a shot. So that's really what it's all about. I'm going to fix this camera again. It's bothering me. I also wanted to remind you that although this segment is called Workout Wednesday, it's not really about just like the workout. It's not about losing weight. It's not about burning calories. It's not about, I don't know, like sculpting your body. It's really not actually that much to do with your body itself. It's more about just taking the time to connect with your body and just to see what it feels like to be in your body on any particular day, and just experiment with sort of what things feel like for you. And it's really not much to do with weight loss or anything like that. So that's what my personal thing about yoga is, less about how it's going to improve your body, and more about how it's going to improve your relationship with your body. Oh my gosh, this camera angle is driving me nuts. Sorry to everybody on Facebook for the close-up of my boobs. Okay, so we were working on balance today. So if you have your mat and your stuff ready, we will get into that. Most of them are going to be standing poses, which is why I've got set up this weird camera angle. So let's begin in mountain pose as we get set up here. So mountain pose is a standing position. Oh my gosh, this camera! Hello. Hi, Anna Marie. Every time I like walk away, the camera like slides down a little bit. Okay, so we are going to begin in mountain pose. So that is our feet about hip width apart. And then you can kind of like tiptoe back and forth as we explore our balance and our position here. Wonderful, exercising those calves. And we're going to begin to stack all of our joints on top of each other. So beginning at the ankles, stacking knees over that, stacking hips, and then all of our vertebrae all the way up to the top of like the neck here. And then we're going to take our head and, oh my gosh, this stupid camera. The head of our neck is going to be, or the top of our head is going to be reaching up towards the ceiling. Good Lord. We are having issues today. I swear to God, here we go. Mercury is in retrograde or something, man. Because this just is not working out today. Oh, I think we got it. Okay, I'm not going to touch it anymore. Okay, so mountain pose, Tadasana. I like this word because it's the Sanskrit Tadasana. Tadasana. Okay, so our shoulders are reaching together down the back of our body. Hands are facing forward, and the crown of our head is pulling up towards the ceiling. So we're in mountain pose here. All right, let's begin with a little spinal warm-up. We'll inhale both arms up and overhead. Take a little back bend, gaze at the ceiling, gaze at the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands down. Okay, this time we're going all the way up on the inhale. Remembering to meld breath and movement. Exhale, let's swan dive down into a forward fold. Let the upper body hang heavy here. Staying nice and solid through the legs. Gentle bend in the knees, but press the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So we're looking for nice long legs And then letting the upper body hang loosey-goosey, creating space between all those vertebrae. Okay, if you can touch the ground, great. If not, hands to shins. And then we're going to straighten the spine, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms back up and overhead. Slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Okay, let's go left and right now. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands over to the left side, opening up through that right side body, gazing at the ceiling. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhaling to the left side body now. Inhale, back to center. Okay, let's open up the arms into a T position, and then we're going to turn the head to face over the left shoulder. Coming into a little twist. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, open to the right. Inhale back to center. Let's take that forward fold one more time. Swan dive down. Gentle bend in the knees. Let the arms hang heavy. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold. Okay, let's inhale, slide the hands up the legs, up the body as we lift vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly, slowly, slowly back up into mountain pose or Tadasana. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to be experimenting with chair pose. So I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see me a little bit better. Feet are in the same position as Tadasana, so about hip width apart. And we're going to begin in Tadasana and sink into chair pose or Uttanasana. Okay, so arms come up overhead on the inhale. And then on the exhale, sorry, this wall is kind of in the way for me sometimes, but I can't be any closer to the camera, you won't be able to see my head. Okay, so on the exhale, what we're going to do is we are going to bend the knees, send the hips back, but I want you to try to keep your shins perpendicular, so a 90-degree angle to the mat. So imagine there's like a little bar stool behind you, and you're just trying to get the edge of your bum on it. Okay, so inhale in here in Tadasana. Exhale, send the hips back. Shift the weight into the balls and heels of the feet. You can even try lifting the toes here. So you're really popping that booty to the back of the mat. Beautiful. See how low you can get? Maybe put your gaze forwards instead of up now. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears. Lift the toes. Wonderful. Inhale back up. Let the hands go loosey-goosey for a moment. Beautiful. Okay. So we are going to add a little bit of difficulty to this pose. If you like, we are going to be going from our weight in the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet up into the tiptoes. And so that's going to cause a lot more feelings of us being off balance. And we're really going to have to connect in with these beautiful calf muscles down here. Okay, so I like to call this one hummingbird. I don't know actually what it is, but it reminds me of a hummingbird. We did it last week. If you were here for work, it once last week. Okay, so beginning in the same sort of fashion, inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, sink the bum down, keeping those shins perpendicular to the floor, perpendicular. Okay, exhale, swing the hands behind the body. Bring them up, and then turn your palms so they face upwards. Beautiful. And then we're just going to shift the weight forward slowly, slowly into the toes, coming up on the tiptoes. Woo! Drawing that navel to the spine, engaging the core, feeling those calf muscles shake. Deep breaths. Okay, exhale, drop the heels down, swing the arms up, inhale, come back into mountain pose. Wonderful. Okay, so another variation of our chair pose here. Again, beginning in mountain pose. Actually, you know what? Let's do tree, and then we'll go back into our chair variation. It'll be more fun that way, trust me. Okay, so beginning in mountain pose, begin to shift the weight over to the left foot. I don't know if I should be doing right foot to show you, but just choose a foot. Begin to shift your weight over into that foot. Wonderful. And then see if you can come up onto the tiptoe of the opposite leg or your right leg, and then see if you can lift it. And then maybe just sort of move it around, small circles with the ankle. You can find a point of focus, maybe 2 or 3 feet, or maybe 3 or 4 feet out in front of you, or directly in front of you to keep your attention on. And then if you can, bend the knee and get the sole of the foot to touch the inside of the shin, or I guess the calf. And then take this right knee and start to open the hip towards the back of the room, the back of the mat. It's coming into a low tree pose here. If your balance is already challenged here, that's totally fine. Just work with this. If you'd like a bit of a deeper stretch and more of a challenge, my nose is itchy today, we can take that foot and maybe grab the ankle, because you'll need to lift it up over the knee joint and press it into the inside of the thigh. So we don't want to press on the knee joint because that's going to push our joint out this way and it's not healthy for the knee. So either above or below the knee. And again, same thing, right knee tracking towards the back of the room, opening our hips straight to the front of the room. So make sure we don't lock the standing knee. Keep a gentle bend in it. I have a tendency to lock joints and that's not good for you. So I'm always going to be telling you not to lock your joints. Beautiful. Okay, we can bring arms straight up if we like. We can bring hands down to heart center. If this is really challenging your balance, you could bring them to the belly button, your sort of center of gravity, to keep you nice and balanced. Or you can bring them out to the sides, like whatever feels good. You could just do your like wavy tree in the wind. Whatever feels right. I'm surprisingly balanced on this side. Normally I have one side that's like not very balanced compared to the other, so interesting to see what happens today. Your balance will change from day to day. That's just normal, and that's the whole point of doing these balances exercises, is to see if there's some sort of pattern. Okay, if you want to get a little bit more tricky here, I'm not good at this one, so no judgment, but you don't have to be good at something to try it, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is keep my left hand out. Right hand, I'm going to grab onto the big toe. Don't worry, I have shorts under the skirt, so don't be looking for anything that's not there, by the way. Okay, so grab onto the big toe, and then you can see if you can straighten that leg out. I'm not super flexible. Oh, actually that's not bad. And then see if you can still open up that hip a little bit, out to the side. Woo! Oh, embrace the shake, you got it. Excellent, bring it back down, woo! To your tree pose, and then shake it on out. Beautiful. Okay, so while we're still working on this hip, you know what? Let's do our chair variation, then we'll go back to the other side. Okay, so again, coming back into the position where we're sending our weight down into the left leg, grounding into the floor. We're going to take the leg up this time. Take your right ankle and put it on top of the left knee. So again, opening this hip up wide, knee tracking to the back of the room. Bring the arms up and overhead. And we're going to be coming into chair pose, just like we were practicing earlier, Uttanasana, but in a figure 4. Okay, so again, sending hips down and back, keeping shin parallel, taking your time, embracing the shake, sinking into that right hip, noticing any sensation here. If it's more comfortable or easier for you, you might bring the hands to heart center as you sink, 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 down into this pose. Looking good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let it all go. Shake out both legs. Shake out the arms. Loosey-goosey. All right. Actually, you know what? I was going to do like a couple poses in order, but I think while we're still all just working on the left side, let's just get them all done on the left, and then we'll get them all done on the right. So you know what to expect. Okay, last one on the left side then. All right, so again, dumping weight into the left. That word is kind of weird, dumping. Probably shouldn't use that in yoga. It's not very relaxing, is it? Okay, so sending weight into the left foot. Let's bring the right leg over and across the left. So if you're here and you need to use your toe as a kickstand, totally fine. We're also going to be sinking back into chair pose again. So this is fine. You can also try to just lift it up a little bit, or if you have like really long legs and the flexibility, see if you can tuck your toes behind the calf. So I'll turn around so you can see what that looks like. My leg is coming around the standing leg, and I'm tucking my toes around the calf. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into this position where we're wrapping ourselves around. If you need to use a toe as a kickstand, that's totally fine. We're going to begin by sinking the hips back and down, keeping the shins standing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take left hand or left arm over right in front of the body. Take your time, focus on your drishti. Bend the elbows, and same thing with the legs. Begin to wrap your hands around each other. Palms touching if they can, and then lift elbows up so shoulders and elbows are in a straight line, perpendicular or parallel, to the mat. Sending hips back and down, grounding through the left foot, engaging the core, drawing navel to spine. Wonderful. Inhale back up. Woo! All right. Okay, let's work the right leg now. At the end, if we have time, maybe we'll do some warrior 3. But I figure we'll give that left leg a break. We've put in a lot of work on it. So right leg now. So shake it all out, shake it all out. Again, no shame in needing to grab onto a chair or something if that's more helpful for you. Shifting weight now into the right leg. Using your hands for balance, finding that point of focus. And again, well, where did we start before? I think we started with our figure 4 chair. No, we started with tree. Okay. All right, so let's bring the sole of the foot up to the inside of the calf. And again, this left knee now is tracking towards the back of the room as we open up the hips. Wonderful. Again, avoiding pressing on the knee. If you'd like to move up to the thigh, go right ahead. Coming into tree pose or Vrksasana. Hope I'm saying that right. All right, so options for hands here. Arms can be straight up. You could do cactus arms. You could do prayer pose. You could do hands at the belly. Whatever works for you. See, as I'm not paying attention to it, I don't know if you've noticed that my knee is starting to track towards the front of the room. So I want to intentionally bring my knee and my hip open. So that's the thing. If you're not paying attention to a certain area of the body or you're not focusing on it, then it's going to just do what it wants. So this is where we bring our focused attention into our yoga practice. Wonderful. Okay, so from here, let's see if we can transition into our figure 4 without bringing our foot all the way down. So see if you can, oh, actually, what are we doing from here? I think we were doing our the straight leg. So if you want to give that a try, go ahead. Grab the toes. Sorry, my mind's really scattered today. Grab the toes, and then you can begin to stretch the legs out. Woo! This leg's a little tighter than the other one. Open up the hip. Embrace the shake. Woo! Yep, if you fall, that's okay. Like as I mentioned, we always have one side that's a little bit stronger, more balanced than the other, and just try again. No big deal. Oh, see, I'm not even balanced here. If you find that happens, just shake it on out. Regain your balance and try again. No worries. Okay, so coming into our chair pose now, let's take left ankle over right knee, making that lovely figure 4. And then again, we'll begin to send the hips back, tailbone back and down, keeping shin parallel with the mat. Sinking, sinking, sinking into our figure 4. Again, arms can be out straight or at heart center. Whatever feels right for you. Try to just tune into those little like micro movements. See, I'm really bad on this side, but that's no worries. That's why we practice. That's how we get better. Tune into the little micro movements of like the top of the foot and the ankle. I can feel my tendons like flashing on and off as I practice this. Wonderful. Okay, let's stand back up slowly, slowly. Untangle. Beautiful. Okay, let's do our eagle pose now. So, sending weight back into the right leg. This is funny. I'm usually right side dominant, so I'm surprised that my left side had better balance here. Okay, so left leg comes around the right. You can balance on the tiptoe. You can leave the foot in the air, or if you have the flexibility, tuck it around the standing leg. Again, we begin to sink it down and back, and then we're going to bring left arm under right this time. Wrapping the arms around each other, palms touching, lifting the elbows to shoulder height, drawing navel to spine, engaging the core, breathing deeply. Slowly unraveling. Whew, and coming back to center. Beautiful. Shake it on out. Get all loosey-goosey. Okay. Yeah, let's do Warrior 3. We have a bit of time. So this one is a little bit trickier. We could actually, let's start with Lord of the Dance, and then we'll move to Warrior 3. The transition from Lord of the Dance into Warrior 3 is very difficult, so I'll give you the option to try that or not to. It's up to you. Alright, so I like to do this standing long ways on the mat just because you have a bit more space, but up to you. If you'd like to stay where you are, that's fine too. Alright, so beginning in mountain pose, Tadasana. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood today. Alright, so feet about hip width apart. Let's begin on the left side this time because we just worked the right. Shift weight into the left leg, and then take a little bit of a step back with the right foot, and just let the tiptoes sort of balance just behind the body. So you kind of get that feeling of sending weight into the left leg. Okay, if you can do this, totally fine. If not, don't worry about it. We'll move on to Warrior 3 after it. So begin to bend the right leg, and if you can reach it with the right hand, that's great. And then we'll bring left arm up, starting to shine the heart center forward. And then without sort of pivoting the body forward, see if you can just lift that right leg up. Lift, lift, lift. So in Lord of the Dance or Dancer pose here, we're not trying to send our heart center downwards like we do in Warrior 3. We're keeping the heart lifted and we're just lifting that back leg up. Woo! Embrace the shake. Beautiful. So see how high you can get without sort of tilting the upper body down too much. Okay, coming back to center. Dropping right leg down. Shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. Okay, let's try Warrior 3 now. So, beginning in the same way, shifting weight into the left leg. Bring right toes backwards. This time bring both arms up and overhead. Drawing shoulders down, opening through the front body. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's begin to send the upper body and the hands forward. And then using the leg like a counterweight. Again, make sure there's a nice little bend in that standing leg. Begin to turn the gaze down towards the mat as you shift upper body down and the back leg up. So this does take a lot of balance and practice. I find if you flex the back foot, that's helpful. Just taking your time, seeing how far you can go, gazing on that point of focus. And when you've had enough, just slowly coming back to center. Woo! So like I mentioned, some days you'll have more flexibility than others and more balance than others, but the repeated practice will help you to improve that balance and flexibility. All right, right side, sending weight into the right leg, send the left leg back, and then reach back with left hand if you can, and grab the left foot. If you can't, you can actually practice with a strap, like wrap it around the bottom of the foot, and then hold the strap if you just don't have that flexibility, and then we can work towards being able to grab it with your hands. So no worries if you cannot. It's all about respecting your body and your limits, right? Okay, so again, keeping the upper body kind of where it is, facing the front of the room, begin to lift the left foot up. Maybe trying to get that shoulder or that wrist and elbow to shoulder height if you can. Gentle bend in the standing leg. Beautiful. Okay, come back to center. Shake it on out. Oh, I've got a phone call here. Sorry, I'm not going to answer you. Okay. Don't they know it's workout Wednesday? All right, so shifting weight into the right leg. Left leg comes back on the tiptoes, both arms up and overhead. And this time our heart center is going to head down towards the floor instead of shining forwards. So find your point of focus. Begin to shift the upper body downwards. Squeezing the core, gentle bend on the standing knee. Lifting the left leg up. Flexing the foot. Yeah, my balance is definitely not as great on this side. And aiming for like a straight line between the hands and the lifted leg. Woo! Oh, and again, if you fall, just get back into it. Take your time, no forcing. Wonderful. And when you feel ready, slowly, slowly, coming back to center, shaking it all out. Wonderful. Okay. So, what time we got? Let's do 2 more poses. How's that? All right, goddess pose. This one's for all you goddesses out there. So take the feet, step them out a little bit wider than hip width apart. So maybe like, what's that, 3 feet? 3 feet apart. And toes are pointing to opposite corners of the mat. So going from straight to 45 degrees. Beautiful. Our knees are pointing out towards where our toes are. And then what we're going to do is put the arms out straight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to sink the upper body down. Or sorry, yeah, well, I guess so. Sink the upper body down and then send the knees out towards the toes. And then take this pelvis, your tailbone, and then tuck it, like scoop it under towards the front body. Beautiful. And then see how low you can sink here. Light the fire in the quads. Beautiful. The wonderful goddess that you are. Okay, inhale, come back up. Maybe shake out one leg. Shake out the other. Beautiful. Okay, so this time, just like we did with our chair pose, we're going to attempt to go up on the tiptoes. So this one is a little trickier. So what's really important here is that we take our hips and we scoop them forward. So I'll show you this time on a side angle so you can see what that really looks like. Okay, so deep breath in. Exhale, sink it down. And you see how my butt is kind of like sticking out here? Take your hands on your hips, tuck it in. So you tuck it in. Ah! Good thing this is a balance class. So you can, this is Yogi Brian, this guy I follow, says he can't do goddess pose without like twerking. I'm not the best at twerking, but I'm learning. Twerkouts. Maybe we'll do one next week. Okay, so tuck that tailbone under. Shift the hips forwards, like thrusting. Beautiful. Okay, inhale, come back up. And this time I will show you the tiptoe version. Feel free to twerk if you want, but twerking on tiptoes is going to be a little bit harder. All right, so toes pointing 90 degrees to the corners of the mat. Knees trekking outwards towards the toes, so make sure they're not like collapsing in. It might be easier actually if you close your stance a bit for this tiptoe version, because you're going to be sending the knees out a little bit further just because of the nature of what happens when you come onto tiptoes. Whew, I'm running out of air. Breathe, Catherine. This is a yoga class. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink it down. Beautiful. And when you get as low as you can go, look at those awesome thighs, everybody. Not mine, yours, I mean. Like, just love up on your own thighs, people. Okay, let's lift. Woo! Lift the heels up, lift the heels up. Tuck the tailbone under. See how long you can hold this for. Woo! In your goddess pose, feeling strong and beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Excellent. Woo! Heel toe those feet back together. Keep them maybe just a little bit wider than hip width apart. So not quite as far as we did for our goddess pose, but not as close as Tadasana. And if you have really good knees and you have the ability to squat, let's see if we can go all the way down into Malasana or goddess squat. So let's inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath here as we prepare to bend the knees. Send the hips back and down slowly, slowly. Exhale. See how low you can go. Taking your time, taking your time. You got this. All the way down to see if you can come to a full deep squat. So if your knees and your hips are protesting here, just listen to your body. Just stop wherever you can. You can also come to this pose from the ground, which is a little bit easier, or you can sit on a yoga block. Beautiful. So the backs of my arms are kind of pressing the knees open a little bit here. If you want to get a little bit deeper stretch, you can take right hand to right knee and just press out. Using left hand maybe to support on the earth. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand to the left knee. Wonderful. And then one final variation of this pose. Kind of come forward onto the hands for a minute. Scooch the feet together. Come onto the tiptoes and bring soles of the heels together. So we're kind of up a little bit taller in this pose. So our upper body is going to be a bit more away from the knees. Bring hands to heart center and balance here. See if we can lift the crown of the head, the shoulders, the spine up towards the ceiling. See if you can mindfully open those knees, open the hips. Balancing here. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Fall backwards onto your bum. Whew. Give yourself a pat on the back for exploring your balance today. You did a good job. Balance stuff is really, really tricky, but it's a great way for us to connect in with our bodies and our minds, seeing if we're feeling balanced emotionally and physically. It's a great practice to really connect in with yourself. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you Thursday for online classes if you're signed up. If not, go ahead to my website. I have been having some issues though, so if you have any problems signing up, just send me a DM and I'll send you, I'll sign you up manually for it. I don't know why there's been issues, but it is what it is. I feel like Mercury's in retrograde or whatever they call it. Something's happening out there, but we'll get around it. You can also catch me Monday at noon here for Mindful Monday, where we do a bit of meditation and talk about some yoga wisdom. Tuesdays are my self-series, so we're going to be going from self-hatred to self-love in a 5-week series. If you missed week number 1, no worries, you can still sign up for the 5-week series and I'll just send you the recorded practice. And then again, workout Wednesday. So I hope you all have a great week. Excuse me, I'm so hyper today. I think I had like way too much coffee beans in my coffee, but you know, it happens. So I thank you so much for showing up for yourself and showing up to practice with me. Give me a message in the comments and I would love to hear from you. Bye.